Welcome to my channel where OP shows up to her wedding only to realize she is marrying into a family of absolute losers. Our next Reddit post is from Sarah. So this happened to me about 8 years ago. To protect my identity, I'll be using the name Sarah for myself and Marcus for the name of my ex. I am going to start this story from the day of the wedding, because all of the events leading up to it, do you want, really matter. I was getting married to a guy named Marcus. His family were all losers who worked in sales and real estate, and I was marrying into them so I could marry Marcus, the only good apple in the bunch. I had no problem with it because I liked Marcus, and I was willing to put up with his loser family for him. But then again, I was also filthy rich while they were all quite poor. So I thought that wouldn't be too much of a problem either. On the day of the wedding, I arrived at the venue, which was an expensive one that I had picked out and paid for, of course. And that's when the nightmare began. Marcus's mother looked me up and down slowly while stroking her chin and said loudly enough for everyone to hear,
Very nice blouse. You have there, dear.
I just know you're trying to hide your figure under it. Now I was wearing a beautiful white dress with a sweetheart neckline, and it was untied at all. But apparently, that was obvious gold digging to her. I just rolled my eyes and ignored her and tried to focus on marrying Marcus. We got married, and the party began. Everything was perfect until Marcus's sister Eleanor approached me with a glass of champagne and said in a sing-song voice, "So, Miss Sarah, what brings you to our humble family? Are you here to marry Marcus out of the goodness of your heart? Or is there something else you want? Don't worry. We all know how it is with those big city girls. They're all gold diggers." And she just kept on rambling about how I was only after Marcus's money, and how I had probably brainwashed him into marrying me by sleeping with him, blah blah blah. At first I was shocked, but then I realized these people were just too stupid to understand that I could actually afford to pay for the entire wedding and all of its many expensive extras and still have enough money left over to buy the entire family. Small island in the Caribbean. So I just politely excused myself from the conversation and went to sit down. But then Eleanor came back with more champagne, and she continued talking to me about how I was nothing but trouble and that she knew I was ungood enough for her precious baby brother. And this continued all throughout the reception until finally I just made up an excuse and went to the bathroom. That was when I called my assistant on my cell phone and told her to cancel the $950 million merger that my company was supposed to do with Marcus's company tomorrow. Then I went back out and acted like nothing had happened. I danced with Marcus and his parents and siblings, even though they had all made cutting remarks about me during the night. Then, right before dinner, I told Marcus I needed to use the restroom again, and I took a few deep breaths to calm myself down before I got on the phone with my assistant again and asked her if the deal had been canceled. "It's not my fault," she said. "I tried to stop it, but the other party refused to cancel once they heard it was because of you." "Oh well, it looks like I have no choice then," I said, then hung up the phone. That's when I walked out and told Marcus's family I had a surprise for them. They all crowded around me, confused, and I said sweetly, "You probably know by now that tomorrow I was going to officially become the CEO of your precious little company by merging my company with yours." "Yeah, and what does that mean?" his mother asked suspiciously. "It means that tomorrow you're all going to wake up and find out that you're no longer going to be working for me." "What? What are you saying?" his father asked. "You're firing us all." "Well, I guess so," I said. "You see, I couldn't run a multi-billion-dollar company with a bunch of losers hanging around the office trying to make me coffee and fetching me donuts." At that point, Marcus grabbed me by the shoulders and demanded answers, but I just smiled mysteriously and walked away. And that was when the news broke that the mysterious CEO who had offered to buy out Marcus's company was me. It didn't take long for them to realize that I was the bride who had insulted them all at the reception the night before. They were so shocked they couldn't even speak. But I didn't give them time to process what was happening. I announced to them all that I was calling off the wedding, and then I revealed my face to them. Well, at least I revealed half of it because I still had on my veil. I said, "You might know me as the daughter of the richest couple in the country, but you probably don't know that I'm also the richest heiress in the world." At that point, they were absolutely devastated. They begged me to forgive them, but I just smiled sweetly and said, "Don't worry, I am forgiving you. In fact, I'm giving you all a parting gift." I turned to Marcus and said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. Then I walked away, leaving them in complete shock. They lost their company and their bride. Marcus ended up having to sell his house and move in with his parents, all because he had a sister with a big mouth. OP, I love the way you casually dropped that you're one of the richest people in the world. Like, oh yeah, I'm just casually spending $950 million over here. Nothing special. And then you reveal at the end that you're worth billions. My favorite part is how Opa subtly insults them the entire time. When she cancels the deal, she doesn't just say she's canceling it because of their family. She says that she run a multi-billion-dollar company with a bunch of incompetent losers hanging around the office making coffee and fetching donuts. So good. And the ultimate revenge is that she leaves them in shock. So they do you and even have time to think about what is happening. They lose their company and their daughter. Sister. Little miss thing. Oh! And then she drops the bombshell that she's one of the richest women in the world. That is some next level stuff right there. If you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.